Good morning. Good morning. 7 members are there. 8. Is it voice is audible? Picture is clear? Voice audible? Okay. Okay. Very good morning. Yet another class. It's going well. 7 members. You have seen many members out here. Okay. So what I expect you to, if you see the description, actually, if you see under this S phone prof online. Ray, what? Adams. Okay. Okay, fine. Actually, in the description, you can see link for this. Actually, you can see link. I couldn't find the smileys here. System is a bit slow. Okay, you can find this table link in the description. If you can access, you can download it, or I can send it in uh, in the group also. You can access it. Sent in the group also. You can access that file. After the session is fine. Actually, it's not that much complicated. I couldn't find any smileys. So everyone joined. 9 members are there. Okay. So shall we start then? Yeah. I can see only few members are active, not all are active. I don't know. It's saying like this. Okay. Let's wait for others for 2 minutes. Hi sir, good morning. Kritika. Good morning, Sai Suvedi. Good morning, Ovyasri, Amrita, Adams, 3 members. Srividya, Kritika, Ilamati, AG, Vanishri means Prakalya, Shivaliнгam. So meanwhile, others, let's wait for others. It takes 5 minutes so that we can join. We can start. So I meanwhile you guys just open table 9.1 of the strategies. Okay, just look into that and just spend 2 minutes of time to find out your own mnemonic. How can you memorize the entire table? You know one thing, this table has come for your seniors this year as it is. It was there in 3 marks question. So once you open that 9.1, okay, Okay, strategies, chapter 9, 9.1 table, and just look into that. Those plans, varieties, etc. I will explain what are those and all. This is new chapter for us, right? But just look into that and try to figure it out. Can we remember by using some kind of a memory techniques? Just spend 2 minutes on that table 9.1. You can meanwhile download in the description also. You can download in the description. You can download there. Google Drive document I already shared. Only 7 numbers are there. What about others? Okay, you guys open that page number. I mean page 9.1 table. Are you guys looking into it? I will explain shortly what is it about. You guys are there? You guys are there? Are you able to hear? Okay, okay, okay. Kadir is there actually. Kadir is there. Saran, I think he haven't joined yet. Saran, Prabhu KP, yeah. Harini is here. Okay, 12 members are there. Okay, we'll start. We already spent a good amount of time, 10 minutes. I don't want to waste any time longer. Okay, whoever not joined, they can access the web link later. Okay, so here what we are gonna discuss today is about plant breeding techniques. So my first question is why we, for that matter, why we need to breed plants? Why we need to breed plants? For that matter, what is the what is the meaning of plant breeding? For that matter, what is the meaning of plant breeding? Can anyone tell? What does it mean? Plant breeding. Of course, this is new chapter for you guys, but you might have heard about plant breeding in your lower classes, right? So why, in what aspect we use this plant breeding technique? And when you see the plant breeding, it starts right from the conventional way of handling the plant breeding, right? And now if you see, biotechnology is one of the advanced. For example, if you have tissue culture and genetic engineering and the molecular biology tools we use is an advanced form. So right from the conventional to the advanced form, right? There is always a basic thing behind it. It means what is the background concept of plant breeding? Why we need to breed plant? You might have heard about animal breeding, right? Creation of mule, right? From donkey and horse, you get the mule, right? So that's how the animal breeding is there. And now we are talking about plant breeding. Yeah, Srividya answered. Yeah, Harini answered to get an efficient variety of plant. Exactly. To change their traits, yes, I and Saran joined. Yeah, hi, good morning. Srividya told that it's to create new type of plant that is more productive and better suited. Better suited for what? Environment. Sai, new characteristics will be expressed. Yeah, so you guys are right. Remaining, is it Sivaditya? Yeah, he is there. Yeah. So please, others also please try to interact here. Okay, fine. environment. Very good. Right. So we use here one of the aspect, that is manipulation, crossing different plants for getting desired care. Of course, we have seen Mendel genetics, and where we used different crossing systems, right? Self cross, out cross, right? Crossing with the F1 generation, and we get different progeny, right? The same principles we'll be applying, but to create a more desired plants. Here our target is we manipulate the plants, right? We manipulate the plant species in order to create desired plant types. It means we can get what we desire. For example, maybe in Andhra or Tamil Nadu, there is a plant variety that it is very much has a kind of high yielding variety, and you have got at Rajasthan some drought resistance variety. So we take these two species of among the same species, and we can breed among these two, and these two plant species to create a better variety. It means the F1 or F2 generation offsprings may have both the characters. What are those? One is water resistant, drought resistance, at the same time high yielding variety. So if we club these two characteristics, we get the offsprings which is having the both. So Alamati answered that changing the trait of plants in order to produce desired. Exactly. So we are actually artificially selecting, right? So we have studied in evolution natural selection, right? In one of the paragraph it is mentioned that we create our own breeds, right? So we create our breeds in due course of time, and why not the nature create this much of variety? Even if we are able to create this much of variety, if you see you have got basmati rice and iron containing rice, and different biofortification techniques. It means adding nutrients to it, right? So if we are able to create, right, so we can achieve desired characters in the progenies, right? So nothing but the desired characters that we can be seen in the uh, F1 progeny, or F2 for that matter, offsprings. So this is the background concept of the plant breeding. And if you see that there is a conventional way of plant breeding technique, it means it is practiced from thousands of years. We already studied in evolution. You have to connect the dots, guys, right? Don't separate the chapters just like that. In evolution, we already studied that the human settlement, for that matter, in civilization, we studied that the agricultural practices started, when they started, just 10,000 years back. That's it. So around 10,000 years back, this entire agricultural setup has started. From then onwards, there is a conventional way of plant breeding techniques, and we have even there are crops which are certainly dedicated, or they are belong to certain region or certain parts of the country. So like that, those are all techniques which are conventional. We call them as the classical plant breeding, right? For that matter, the Mendel genetics, that includes the crossing of hybrid crossing between two plants, pure lines. For that matter, capital T, tall plants, and we have a other variety that desired characteristics that we can, which are pure lines. You know what are pure lines, right? So these pure lines parents would take, we will be taking, and we will be artificially selecting those offsprings out of which comes out of this hybridization. So this is quite a conventional hybridization, so which it started right from conventional hybridization. If you see, what is the first plant that is grew? What does it mean? What is the question? Through tissue culture, we have produced n number of we produce n number of plant varieties. If you see any rice item, for example, in India, IARA, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, Delhi, Pusa Institute, they created Pusa variety, right? That will be discussing in what do you say? Uh, what do you say? What do you say? We'll be discussing in that table. The puja is nothing but the the rice varieties. Rice varieties are created uh, you know uh, from the beginning itself, because to meet the enormous demand in the India, yeah, there are n number of plants were produced, even the rice varieties. Okay, so that is one thing. Rice varieties are already produced, man, Adams. Okay. So that is about the plant breeding, and to achieve plant breeding, right, we have to undergo several steps. Okay, we have to undergo several steps. Okay, before we go into that steps, before going to those steps, okay, even we can actually learn about mnemonics, and then we can go for the steps. That would be better, I guess, because when we keep going into this track, uh, shall we first see the mnemonics, or shall I take this one? What do you mean? Shall I explain the procedure of plant breeding? The mnemonic is not, something which we talk about the varieties which are created by plant breeding technique, and how to memorize that. So let me take the first mnemonics. Okay, yeah. So there are two extremes, right? So one is the conventional way, right? Conventional is a very classical method, just like Mendel did the process, right? Hybridization by taking pure lines, and the other end is, yeah, great. Proceed. Okay, so we'll cover the both. Okay, so if you see this, what do you say, at other end, right now it is an advanced techniques that we use, right? So these things can be put forth in several steps, right? So those several steps includes, right? So if you see the textbook, you can visualize that. So those steps of plant breeding includes almost one, two, three, four, five steps. Simple five steps. Okay, I'll be explaining this five steps. Right from, you have to remember only one thing. This entire creation of variety starts with a seed. Okay, starts with a seed. Starts with a seed and ends with a seed. Sir, how is that possible? It means to create any variety, we need to get get the variety of the seeds first, right? So that's what we talking about collection of variability. Like that, we have got few steps. I will be explaining about the five steps that we have, but that we can create a pure no that we can create a new variety, right? By from the five steps that I will be discussing as well. Those five steps include collection of variability, evaluation. If you see the NCRT textbook, page number 171, please open page number 171. Okay, we can go with mnemonics, but just have a look at 171, page number 171. Just have a look at it, and then we can go it. Go for other. Go for mnemonics. Yeah, you can see that, right? There are five steps included: collection of variability, evaluation and selection of parents, cross hybridization among selected parents. That is the third step. And fourth step includes selection and testing of superior recombinants. And the last one includes testing, release, and commercialization of new varieties or cultivars. So all these five steps I will be explaining within 10-15 minutes of time. Okay, and then we can finish this. Okay. Before that, let us by following these procedures, we can create varieties or cultivars. So let us see the table which is little complex to remember, and let us make it more fun way to remember that. Okay, so have you guys accessed the Google Drive document of 9.2 table? Google Drive document, open page. So what is the page number actually? It's 174. 174, 9.2. Okay, great, great, great. Excellent, excellent. So you can access, if you are unable to access, no, if you are unable to see my face, you wanted to interact like this, that's okay. Or you can access later. I already provided in the link also. Okay, in the textbook, what the provided link description will not be there in the textbook. So what I provided in the link is something which I edited. Okay, so which I edited. So this is quite a little, you can see the red marks, right? Crop, variety, and resistance to the, you know, diseases. So which the last column. So we'll be discussing about this. Okay, clear? So if you can access that file, that is okay. Otherwise, we can go ahead with that. Okay. So first thing is that they are talking about crop and its variety, and to which it is resistant for. Okay, it is almost having many, almost we have to remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 or 20 different names or examples we need to remember. So how can we remember, right? So if you see here, the first one is wheat, right? Wheat, himagiri, leaf, and stripe rust or hill bunt. Okay, the first line I am talking about, the first line. Okay, I will be pasting here itself so that you can go through. Okay, I'm talking about the first line. Okay, wheat, himagiri, leaf, and stripe rust or hill bunt. So how can we remember this? So if you see here, in the wheat, if you are accessing that file, it will be very easy. Or after this session also you can access, it will be very easy. In the wheat, so we are trying to use what is a our own memory. Already we have a memory of few objects, few names. So as I already saying, I used to say in 11th standard, we have to access the already existing memory, so that we no need to really save some new information every now and then, right? It is a kind of mind palace technique, so that we can use the association areas to relate to the images that we already stored in the mind. So let's start with wheat. In the wheat, right, it can be split into one word, that is heat, rhyming, right? Wheat, heat. So when we have heat, right, what we go is, we go for himagiri. In Hindi, hima means ice, iceberg, ice. Giri means like a mountain, right? Himagiri, like Himalayas, right? We have ice. So when we have heat, we go for fetching a ice, right? And why we are getting the ice here? Hima means ice, Giri means mountain. So you have to imagine the pictures in class. If I am there in the class, I would have drawn those things. We'll see that. So hima means the ice cream cup, you can remember of. And then we can get this Giri as a mountain, right? And then the next one, that is resistant to diseases. Which disease it is resistant to? Hill burnt, right? We are burning the heat. Okay, here hill is there. Himagiri, giri is nothing but hill, right? A kind of a kind of relativity, right? We can relate it. So it's loading. Okay, are you guys not able to see? Are you able to see my picture? Oh, from when you are unable to see? You are able to. Let me change the hotspot. It's clear. It's clear. Okay. Okay, fine. I turned on two hotspots so that if one disconnects automatically, it will other will connect. Okay. First one is understood, heat, right? Wheat. So so I'll be trying to put some kind of symbols here. Heat, wheat, heat. For that we go for him. Him means I think it's taking a long time. Ice, ice and giri. I will just explain one line so that later you can imagine by yourself what I'm talking about. Okay, it will not take nothing, not much time. Let me explain. Mountain, mountain. Yeah. And now, Amrita, are you able to see Amrita Kumaresan? So this is what I'm talking about. We heat, right? When we got heat, we'll go for ice cream, house mountain, right? Hill bunt, hill bunt. So hill bunt is that we are burning our heat by taking the ice. Is that first one example? First example is clear. First mnemonic is clear. Everyone, is it easy? Did you find easy? Okay, great. So like that, those images should come into your mind. So it would be more fun than only. So that is one. So crop is wheat, heat, and variety is himagiri. That is hima means ice, and giri is mountain. And then resistance to diseases, nothing but hillbunt. Reminding one more example, you should remember. Not everything we can't create mnemonic. It would be a lot of headache. Okay, so you have to remember one more example extra, always one extra should remember. Once you get this skeleton right, reminding you can write it by your own. It's not a matter of difficulty. Okay, once the session is done right, you can practice by your own, and within 5 minutes you can recollect everything. So let us go for the second one. You got 13 members. Yeah, I think from next session we'll be having only 2:30 to 3:30. By mistake today I've scheduled it for 10 to 11:30. So let us go for the second one. That is Brassica Pusa Swarnim White Rust. Are you able to access that? I'm talking about the second one, Brassica Pusa Swarnim, right? Pusa Swarnim. Brassica is a brassica, right? Metal. Swarnim. Okay. Second one. So now you have to tell whether the brass gets really. Sir, it's loading again. Okay. So please check your networks so that I think think remaining guys has no issue it seems.